Well, we've got a very special guest in the studio today. I heard singer-songwriter John Doyle, who is going to be performing in Charlottesville this evening at Seaville Coffee. It's a 7 o'clock concert. And without any further ado, I'd just like to introduce John Doyle.
How's it going?
So, John, I think it's become kind of a tradition the last couple of years anyway. I think that you kind of make a swing through the South about this time of year.
Well, I live in Asheville in North Carolina, so I kind of every December I've been doing a kind of a Southeast solo tour for the last 3 or 4 years. So it's been really enjoyable just to kind of go around and check everybody out and meet friends and play with the music and have a bit of fun, So it's been fun.
Are you going to have a bit of downtime for the holidays?
Yeah, I'm heading off after that. I have one more thing in Atlanta to do after this, and then head back home to Ireland for a bit of time for Christmas, and then head to Sweden after that to visit my brother who lives there. So, yeah, a Swedish Christmas.
No doubt there'll be snow.
There is indeed, yeah.
Well, would you like to play something for us?
Sure. I'll do a song here. This is a song, an old Irish song. It comes from the tradition, the Cork tradition, and it's a translation of an old Gaelic song called "I Know My Love." Here you go. Jacket blue, and if my love leaves me, what will I do? And still she cried, I love him the best, and the trouble mine sure to know no rest. And still she cried, bonny boy, to you, and if my love leaves me, what will I do? Well, I know my love is a handsome rover, and I know my love sails the wide world over. It's Spain or France, well I'm sure he'll tarry, or an English girl, well he's sure to marry. And still she cried, I love him the best, and a trouble mine sure to know no rest. And still she cried, bonny boys of you, and if my love leaves me, what will I do? Dance hall in the Mardyke, and it's there my love he goes every night, and he sits that queer one down on his knee, and don't you know boy it troubles me. And still she cried, I love him the best, and the trouble mine sure to know no rest. And still she cried, bonny boys of you, and if my love leaves me, what will I do? I could wash and wring, and if my love knew, I could weave and spin, and make for him a suit of the finest kind. But the want of money short leaves me behind. And still she cried, I love him the best, and the trouble mine sure to know no rest. And still she cried, bonny boys of you, and if my love leaves me, what will I do? And I know my love by his way of talking, and I know my love is his jacket blue. And if my love leaves me, what will I do? And still she cried, I love him the best, and the trouble mine sure to know no rest. And still she cried, bonny boys of you, and if my love leaves me, what will I do? Still she cried, I love him the best, and the trouble mine sure to know no rest. And still she cried, bonny boys of you, and if my love leaves me, what will I do?
That instrument that you're playing has a really kind of an interesting sound, and we were talking about that a little earlier. It has like the body of a kind of a small concert-sized guitar, but it's like it's strung more like a sitar.
It's like a bouzouki. It's basically a bouzouki with a guitar body, so you could call it a bazaar if you would like. It's made by a man called Kevin Mederman up in North Dakota, Grand Forks, North Dakota, who does this during the day, and he's a plastic surgeon as a hobby. So he's a reconstructive surgeon. So his attention to detail is pretty good. One would hope, anyway.
It's got a beautiful tone. It's a little brighter than a guitar, but like not quite as bright as a.
Well, since it has the double strings, it has more resonance, and it's like it's 4 courses instead of 5 courses. 4 courses tend to work very well. Slim body, slim neck, and but it's so sweet. It's something the way that he used the body of the guitar. The guitar body makes it so sweet, not as mid-rangey as a bouzouki tends to be.
Have you been playing that a while?
A couple of years now. It's one of these things that you don't want to put down, and you start looking at it as soon as you do.
Well, aside from all your solo work, I know you play with a lot of folks and are involved with producing records. And a couple of years ago, you were out on tour for a while with Joan Baez, right?
I did, yeah. I was the MD for her for a couple of years, which was really, really good fun. It was great to get to meet her and hear some stories, which is plenty of stories.
I'll bet. I saw you guys here in Charlottesville, and what a great band. I think it was Dirk Powell and was it Todd Phillips on bass?
That's right, Todd Phillips, Dirk, and myself. And Gabe Harris was, Joan's son was also playing. I'm not sure if he was playing here, but he was in the band too. Did
you get to handpick those other guys?
I did, yeah. I did. I made sure that I picked people that really loved playing and loved the music, and just so I could have as much fun as I could on the road. I knew Dirk a long time, and I've always admired his playing. He's such a fantastic musician, and of course Todd is, he's one of those legends of the bass,
Rock solid.
Exactly.
Well, you certainly sounded great. That was such a great show. So what else do you have going on?
Well, let's see. There's always something. Well, the Teetotalers, I suppose, is a new thing. There's myself, Martin Hayes, and Kevin Crawford. We go out every now and again and do little bits and bobs.
Talk about how you guys got together. It's kind of interesting.
Well, about 4 or 5 years ago, a man called Cloud Moss, who had this great festival, it was one of the best festivals in the West Coast, in Sebastopol. It was called the Sebastopol Festival. And it was really Irish, or Celtic really, I would say, And every year he would put together like a kind of a mix. We'd all be there anyway for various reasons, and then he would put a kind of a mix of some people that would never have played together normally, and kind of make a band out of it and have a show. And one year he picked myself, Martin, and Kevin, and so we had so much fun that we said, oh, that was great, and we didn't do anything about it. And then 3 or 4 years later he did the same thing again, and this time it kind of stuck, and he named us the Teetotalers, since we all none of us drink, we're a long time off the booze, and so we kind of it was just hilarious. If you know Martin and Kevin, they're kind of hilarious people anyway, so it was great crack to just play, and the music is rock solid, so we've been enjoying it. So we're recording an album in January now, and kind of going out on tour again, and I think it's in late April, May in the States.
Oh, fantastic. Now, have you guys recorded a CD already?
No, we're starting in January. So that's what's coming up, trying to figure that one out.
Would you like to give us another tune?
Sure. Let's see. This one has been on the repertoire for a long, long time, and they never recorded it, but it's a song, an old English broadside that I heard from the first time from Martin Carty, who I always admired as a guitar player and a collector of music and singer, and one of those heroes that kind of kept with the tradition no matter what, and but he sang this song, and I remember as a teenager listening to this and hearing his guitar playing and going like, what is he doing? It just was so good. So it's called Cold Haily Windy Night. at your window. Let me in. The soldier cried, cold, daily, windy night. Oh, let me in. The soldier cried, I'll not come back again, no. Oh, my father, he watches down the street. My mother, the chamber keys to keep. Oh, the doors and the windows, they do creak, and I dare not let you in. Oh, let me in. The soldier cried, cold, daily, windy night. Oh, let me in. The soldier cried, I'll not come back again, no. Let him in and she's kissed her true love cheek and chin. She's drawn in between the sheets again, and she's open and she's let him in, oh. And then she is back with the rainy night, cold, haily, windy night. Oh, then she's blessed the rainy night. She opened and she let him in, oh. Oh, soldier, soldier, stay with me. Soldier, soldier, won't you marry me? Oh, no, no, no. That can be so fairly well forever. And then she is cursed the rainy night, cold, rainy, windy night. Oh, then she is cursed the rainy night. She opened and she let him in, oh. Lost her maidenhead when she opened and she let him in, oh. And then she is wept for the rainy night, cold, haily, windy night. Oh, then she is wept for the rainy night. She opened and she let him in, oh. Oh, my hat, it is frozen into my head. My feet, they are like a lump of lead. My shoes, they are worn into my feet, with the staring at your window. Let me in. The soldier cried, cold, haily, windy night. Oh, let me in. The soldier cried, I'll not come back again, no.
Wow, that was something. We're listening to John Doyle, who is playing live here in the studio at WTJU. We really appreciate him taking the time to come in today. He's going to be performing in Charlottesville tonight down at Seville Coffee. The show, I believe, is at 7 p.m. And they only sell tickets at the door, I believe, so you might want to get down there a little early because it's not a huge venue. It's a great opportunity to see John's fantastic guitar playing up really close. So that's tonight at Seville Coffee. And John also has several CDs out. His latest one is called Shadow and Light. It's on Compass Records. And, well, what else would you like to tell us today, John?
I don't know if I have anything to say to that. I'm just tuning down this guitar for some other song here.
I know I've seen you several times playing with fiddler Liz Carroll. Do you guys have any further plans to play together?
Not so far, but you know, we're good friends, you know, so I'm sure something will happen at some stage again. And, you know, it was always great fun. We played together for about a decade, and so And we always kind of figured out, okay, we'll move and do something else and do different things and see what happens after that. You know.
Well, I think that, and was it the last CD that you did? It was nominated for a Grammy?
That's right. It was called Double Play. So that was it was a really great album, and there was a great feel to that album too. You know, and I think it was that culmination of all those years playing together that brought kind of, because like Liz's tunes and her playing are just so great. Like she's a very incredibly unique player, and I've always enjoyed her ability to kind of transcend traditional music. You know, she was so well versed in traditional music that she can go outside of the genre but still make it feel as if tradition is there, and then come back in. You know, and that's what it's all about, I think. You know.
Yeah, a lot of times I would hear tunes that I thought were old traditional tunes, and it turned out that they had been composed by Liz.
Yeah, and she's one of those artists that like have gone into the tradition, have kind of contributed in that way that people are playing her tunes that don't even know they're playing it, and that's kind of I suppose that's the greatest thing. It's the apex of as a traditional musician.
Well, we do have your latest CD and one of the players here. We could listen to a cut off that, but to be honest, it's so great hearing you play live. That it's such a rare treat that if there's another tune that you'd like to do.
Sure, I was thinking of one because I've been enjoying doing this one too. And it was to do with a dream that I had a couple of years ago. And it was where I was spat out of the belly of a whale. It's really one of those dreams. And I entered into the sea and I became a Silkie. And as for those people who don't know what a Silkie is, it's a half seal, half human. That the legends were around the Hebrides and around the north of coasts of Ireland, where dead sailors or dead people, that people that died on the sea would return as Silkies. And when they would go onto the shore, they would have to take off their silky skins and leave them somewhere safe. But if you caught a silky skin, if you found one and you kept it, the Silkie was enslaved to you for as long as you had it. And so anyway, I was in the sea and I became a Silkie, and I looked down and then I was a female Silkie. And then I saw there was a little baby Silkie next to me. And so I was like, oh wow, so this is odd. So I went to the shore and we took off our silky skins and put them somewhere, and a storm was brewing and we fell asleep, and when I awoke the child was gone. And so I was frantically looking around everywhere, and I saw a lighthouse in the distance, this beaming lighthouse. So I went towards the light and I saw the lighthouse keeper's house, and I looked inside the lighthouse keeper's house, and there in a crib was my child and a loving couple looking at this child longingly, and then the silky skin was hanging on a hook by its side. And so I was like, woohoo. So then I took another hit of LSD and only joke. So anyway, so I wrote a song about it, figuring that like I am dreaming in folk song now. So I've gone past the tradition, it's gone into my brain. So anyway, this song is called Silkie. Swing tide, caress me, seaweed, kelp and brine, deep waters, dark and heaving sea. No memories, just deep breathing, no name, no shape, nor time. A dark regret enfolds the shape of mine. Till the tide turns, the sea calls out once more. Till the tide turns and the sea calls out once more. My child, I held you tightly I nursed you and I sheltered you, safe from all harm and from danger. I watched you grow so quickly, deeply diving, swimming, gliding past the fairy rocks where our kin slumber. Till the tide turns, the sea calls out once more. Till the tide turns and the sea calls out once more. Well, a storm has raged for 3 days, and we sheltered in the bay. Casting off our calls, we slept undaunted. When I awoke, I called you, no answer came to me. Oh, I searched and searched while tears fell down unnumbered. While a distant light was shining on Edith's lonely isle, looking inside, oh, I saw you there asleeping on a bed of soft green ivy, a couple brimming with pride. Your silky skin was hanging by your side. Till the tide turns, the sea calls out once more. Till the tide turns and the sea calls out once more. Swaying tide, caress me, seaweed, kelp and brine, deep waters, dark and heaving sea. 7 years a changeling, 7 years of trials, to see you coming back to me, my child.
Listening to the great John Doyle here at Radio Tropical, WTJU Charlottesville 91.1 FM. And this is Bruce back in the chair. And John, thank you very much for your visit. It's been wonderful to have you here.
How's it going, Bruce? It's great being here.
Pretty well. And one of the things that took me away from Charlottesville was a short visit to Dublin and to Galway also. And one of the things that I thought I'd bring up as we finish out our session with you is to get your opinion of what it's been like for the Irish musician in the recent downturn of the economy. It's something I definitely saw on the streets of Dublin, and a few of the people I was traveling with talked to some of the session players about what it was like to deal with the new economy. What's your opinion of what's been going on lately?
Well, you know, as soon as there's no free money for people, you know, right now it's the recent budget has just brought it back down where child welfare has gone down. You know, everyone's budget is like severely strained, and people are just like buckling under. You know, my brother's been out of work for years now, and like he's an architect, and he studied, and you know, like he's major, you know, very serious architect. But like my uncles, they were all in the building industry, so they've all downsized severely.
Yeah.
And but that's just there. That's just in that side. But never mind all the ghost estates and the, you know, people aren't going out to pubs anymore. People are afraid to spend whatever they have, and so these huge extreme austerity measures, as they call them, like don't help to stir the economy up, obviously. And so the musician is on the bottom end of that.
Right.
And so the one good thing about it is that the people aren't talking about money all the time anymore, because they're, you know, it's gone back. You know, I left during the Depression and I came back during the Depression, so I never saw any of the good times.
Except isn't it a little bit easier to get around in certain parts of Dublin now than it used to be? I mean, some of the roads seem like they're new and improved.
Well, the like EU money really helped enormously, and it's still that, you know, it's not going to change, and you know, it's a 10-year downturn. That's what they say, and 10 years is an awful long time, and so we're into the 6th year of it now, and hopefully we'll be coming out. The housing levels have just bottomed out, they say. They say, and so that's been at half the price of when it was at the top level, which was ridiculous price anyway. You know, like Dublin was the most expensive place in Europe, one of the most expensive places in the world to live. You know, and I grew up in Dublin, and believe me, it's not worth it, lads.
Yeah, well, I remember.
I love Dublin and all, like, but you know, but it's a great, you know, it's a great country. It needs support. It's a beautiful place. I love being there. I love being with my family there. I decided to go there for a bit of time to bring my family over and to see what it's like to, because I hadn't lived there for 22 years, and I decided to go there and have a blast. And it's been really fun, you know.